And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Hey, YouTube, welcome back to Meadowbrook 135 Media, the place where ideas connect. No, I'm not Chance the Rapper, but I am giving it all that I got. I'm actually Mike Rogers, CPA, also known as Millennial Mike online. And welcome to Millennial Mike's Captain's Log number 9 at Millennial Mike 7 X Access Restored. It's been a weird week. My X account at Millennial Mike 7 was suspended randomly over the weekend. I still don't know the specific post, policy provision, or activity that was the issue, and my X account was placed into read-only mode for 3 days. So I made you some visuals to help you understand how it felt. So when your X account is placed into read-only mode, it kind of feels like Thanos snapping his fingers, and all of a sudden, half of the Avengers disappear. One moment, you have an account that has been active since 2018 with years of public writing, articles, graphics, threads, research, music, satire, and conversations. And then the next moment, the public doorway to all of it was completely gone. Not necessarily erased forever, but it was inaccessible through the place where the work had been built and had been accumulating over the past 8 years. And honestly, it felt like the Peter Parker disappearing scene. Not because I am an Avenger, definitely not. But when a public archive goes dark, it is not only about whether you can send another post or respond to another reply. It's about the years of context, the prior links, the articles, the threads, the graphics, the conversations, and a public identity becoming inaccessible all at once. So for the past 3 days, it's been read-only mode. And that part kind of felt like platform purgatory. You could see the world moving. You could see other accounts posting. For me, I could see 135 Research and Meadowbrook 135 Media still active. And you could see them building, responding, sharing, and talking. But you're looking at it all through a window. It's basically the professional version of that SpongeBob meme where you're stuck inside watching everybody else outside having a good time and playing. But luckily, after 3 days, access to @Millennial Mike has been restored on X. I want to show what was preserved and what the public account record actually looks like. I'll also give you what I can share with the public as well as what was learned from the interruption. So this is the framing for the rest of this update. Access was restored and the record is now preserved. And the purpose of this video is not to make claims about why the interruption happened. We do not have a basis to do that. The purpose is to document the public record, preserve the work beyond a single account, and make sure that the lesson from the experience improves the system. And these are two separate X-reported account-wide reporting windows captured on June 25th, 2026, which is today's date. The 707,000 impressions and 22,200 engagements on the left reflect the rolling 12-month report. The 321,000 impressions and 13,900 engagements on the right reflect the rolling 90-day reporting view. These are platform reported activity metrics across the account, including posts, replies, media, and long-form articles. They are not unique audience counts, and they are not additive to the separate 59 article inventory that we've already discussed in the previous two videos. The @Millennial Mike 7 account has nearly 14,000 posts that have been published since 2018, and 59 long-form articles have been identified in the preserved archive. Those are different parts of the record. They document a body of work that has been built over time, and the preservation work is making sure it remains accessible beyond any single platform. And this was a pinned CVE post from September 22nd, 2025, which I have at the top of my @Millennial Mike 7 profile. At the time this screenshot was preserved, X displayed approximately 22,000 public post views. That is a post level view count. It is separate from and overlaps with the account-wide analytics shown on the prior slide, so it is not added to those totals. The important point is not to stack numbers. It is to preserve the actual public record accurately. The profile is back. The history is visible again. The CVE work is visible again. The pinned post is visible again. The account did not suddenly become important because it was interrupted. It already represented years of accumulated public work. This slide is about discipline. There are things that are appropriate to share publicly, and there are things that should remain internal. The public record includes the nearly 14,000 posts, the 59 preserved long form articles, X reported account wide analytics, the restoration of account access, and the work being done to preserve the archive across multiple platforms. What remains internal is the operating intelligence behind the work. That includes audience and distribution analytics, detailed post level performance, and the original analytics exports and source files. The public record can be documented without publishing operational intelligence. That is the balance. Public transparency where it is useful, and internal discipline where it is necessary. And our public posture is straightforward. Access to Millennial Mike 7 has been restored, and we appreciate that the account is accessible again. The interruption reinforced a broader lesson. Public work should not depend on a single platform, a single archive, or a single point of access. The record is being preserved, distribution is being diversified, and the work continues. Again, I'm not putting on any tinfoil hats. No motive claims, no blame claims, no attempt to stretch the facts beyond what we know. I just appreciate the restored access to my account. It's my main online identity that I've used for almost the past decade. And there's a clear lesson here, and a stronger system will be created going forward. The practical lessons are straightforward. First, archive everything. Articles, graphics, screenshots, source files, decks, links, analytics, snapshots, and working drafts. Second, diversify distribution. X remains valuable. I love X. But it cannot be the only bridge between the work and the world. We will continue to build through YouTube, Substack, LinkedIn, Meadowbrook 135 Media, 135 Research, and the wider archive. Third, we have to preserve the evidence. We have to keep the original screenshots, dates, reporting windows, source notes, and exports so that the public statements remain tied to what the platform actually displayed. And finally, we have to keep building. The interruption was real. I'm not going to lie, it did derail me for a couple days. And the lesson was real. But the correct response is not paralysis, it is system resilience. This is Meadowbrook 135 Media, the place where ideas connect. Markets, math, media, research, creative work, and public documentation do not have to live in separate rooms. The point is to build a system where the work can move. An article can become a video can become a short, a research post can become a Substack archive. A public idea can live in more than one place. That is not duplication for the sake of duplication. That is continuity. 135, 153. The account is accessible again, the archive is being strengthened, and the signal keeps moving forward. So my Millennial Mike 7 X access was restored yesterday, and I felt that it was only fair to make this video. We made the two videos when the account became inaccessible because we feel that it's important for creators to understand the obstacles that they're going to navigate in 2026 and beyond. Access has been restored. It is just as important to say that clearly and publicly. We appreciate that Millennial Mike 7 on X is accessible again. We appreciate everybody who reached out, shared the updates, and watched the videos, as well as those who read the Substack post and those who supported the work while the account was inaccessible. Public record is being preserved, the archive is being diversified, and the work will continue. And we are built to ship.